4:40 a.m., March 18, 2025. Mosen. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself praying, pouring your heart out, only to wonder if your words were heard? Have you ever questioned whether your prayers make a difference? You are not alone. In our fast-paced, unpredictable world, we all face moments of doubt. But let me tell you this, prayer is not just a religious ritual. It is a powerful connection between you and your Creator. Today, I want to share with you 8 key principles that will help you trust in your prayers and unlock the life-changing power within them. The first step in trusting your prayers is believing deeply and unshakably that your voice matters. Too often we pray with hesitation, thinking, does God even hear me? But the truth is, every sincere prayer reaches beyond the physical world and is heard by the one who created you. Consider a child asking their parent for help. That child doesn't wonder whether their voice is important. They simply ask, trusting that their parent listens. In the same way, when you pray, approach God with childlike confidence. Imagine the weight lifting off your shoulders when you know that your words are not floating into an empty void. Real trust begins when you believe that your prayers are heard, even if you don't see immediate results. Faith is the bridge between your request and its fulfillment. Never forget you are always heard. What would happen if you expected your prayers to be answered? There is a significant difference between a casual hope and a firm expectation. Many people pray, but few truly expect an answer. Expectation is the fertile ground where miracles grow. I once heard a story of a small village that was suffering from a drought. The townspeople gathered to pray for rain, but only one little girl brought an umbrella. That is the power of expectation. When you pray, prepare your heart as if the answer is already on its way. When you ask for healing, start living as though healing is unfolding. When you pray for opportunity, act as though the door is already opening. What you expect reveals what you truly believe. One of the greatest struggles in prayer is waiting. We live in an age of instant gratification. When we want something, we want it now. But spiritual matters do not follow human timetables. Just because an answer is delayed does not mean it is denied. Think of a farmer planting seeds. After the seed goes into the soil, he doesn't dig it up every day to check for growth. He knows that in the right season, the harvest will come. Your prayers are like those seeds. Trust the process and the time. When you pray and nothing changes immediately, do not lose heart. Sometimes a delay means that something better is being prepared. Keep trusting because God's timing is always perfect. Vague prayers lead to vague answers. If you want to see real results, you need to be specific in what you ask for. Specific prayers require clarity, and clarity demonstrates faith. A man once prayed for financial help. Every day he said, God bless me. But nothing changed until he began to ask specifically for wisdom in managing his resources and for opportunities to increase his income. Suddenly, doors opened and his situation changed. When you pray, name your desires clearly. If you need peace, say so. If you want restoration, declare it. The more specific your prayers, the more specific your answers will be. Prayer is not about getting everything you want. It's about aligning with a greater purpose. When your prayers align with what is right, good, and beneficial, they become unstoppable. Think about this. If a child asks their parent for something harmful, no loving parent would grant that request. In the same way, God responds to prayers that are in alignment with His purpose for your life. When you pray, ask yourself, does this prayer align with my purpose? If it does, trust that it will be answered, not only for your good, but for the good of others. Your words have power. What you say after you pray can either fuel your faith or destroy it. Too often we pray for breakthroughs, but speak words of fear and doubt. A woman once prayed for healing, but constantly said, I don't think I'll ever get better. Her own words were blocking her faith. When she changed her confession, declaring, I am getting stronger every day, her body began to heal. Speak life over your prayers. When you pray for peace, don't say, I'm always stressed. When you pray for provision, don't declare lack. Your words shape your reality. Many people give up too soon. They pray once or twice, and when nothing happens, they quit. But real breakthroughs require persistence. There's a story of a man who wanted to find water on his land. He dug 5 shallow wells but found nothing. Frustrated, he gave up. Later, another man dug in the same spot, but he dug deeper. At 20 feet, he struck a fresh underground spring. If you haven't seen your answer yet, maybe you need to keep digging. Keep praying. Keep knocking. Your persistence is proof of your trust. Finally, trust in your prayers by living as though the answer is already on the way. Faith is not passive, it is active. When you pray, move forward with confidence. A couple who couldn't have children prayed for years. Instead of giving up, they decorated a nursery, believing that one day their child would arrive. Against all odds, their miracle came. When you trust your prayers, act on them. Prepare your life for the answer. Your faith-filled actions create space for miracles. Today, I challenge you to trust in your prayers like never before. Believe they are heard. Pray with expectation. Trust the timing. Be specific. Align with purpose. Speak life. Be persistent. And live as if the answer is already given. Your prayers are powerful. Never doubt that. The answers may not always come the way you expect, but they will come. So, lift your head, strengthen your faith, and trust that every word you speak in prayer is shaping a future full of possibility. Mohsin Sengi, trusting in your prayers, begins with one foundational truth. You must believe that your prayers are heard. Without this belief, prayer becomes nothing more than empty words. Many people struggle with doubt, questioning whether their cries reach beyond their immediate environment. This uncertainty weakens faith and undermines the very act of prayer. True confidence in prayer requires the conviction that you are not speaking into thin air, but to a living, listening God who cares deeply about every detail of your life. When a child speaks to a loving parent, they do so with the certainty that their words matter. The child does not question whether they are heard. They know it instinctively. This childlike faith is the attitude we must carry when we approach God. Imagine how different your life would be if you prayed with the full confidence that you were being listened to at every moment. Doubt often creeps in when we do not see immediate results. Many people stop praying because they assume silence means their words have fallen on deaf ears. But silence does not mean absence. In the unseen realm, things are shifting even when you cannot perceive them. Your responsibility is not to figure out how the answer will come. It is to believe that you have been heard. When you trust that your prayers are heard, you develop a quiet assurance that allows you to keep moving forward, even in uncertainty. Consider the story of a mother whose child was diagnosed with a serious illness. Doctors gave little hope for recovery. Every night she knelt beside her child's bed and prayed. Weeks turned into months, and there was no sign of improvement. Many would have given up, but she believed her prayers were not in vain. Slowly, the child's condition began to change. Against medical predictions, complete healing occurred. This is the power of belief. When you trust that your prayers are heard, impossible situations can be transformed. Believing your prayers are heard does not mean you will always receive immediate answers, nor does it mean that every outcome will align with your expectations. What it does mean is that nothing you speak in faith is ever wasted. Every heartfelt prayer carries weight. Every word is captured. Your voice matters. And when you trust that your prayers are heard, you release a force that extends beyond human limitation. When doubt rises, remember this. If you are sincere in your prayer, it is impossible to go unheard. Just as a signal sent from one device to another may take time to connect, so too can prayers take time to manifest. But the connection is always established the moment you pray with belief. Strengthen your trust by reflecting on the times when your prayers have been answered, even in small ways. This reflection builds confidence and reminds you that if you were heard before, you will be heard again. Praying with expectation is the next critical step in trusting your prayers. Many people pray out of habit or as a last resort, but they lack the anticipation that their requests will be fulfilled. There is a difference between hoping something might happen and expecting it to happen. Expectation shifts the way you think, speak, and act. It turns passive wishing into active faith. When you pray with expectation, you align your mindset with the belief that the answer is already on its way. Expectation is not arrogance. It is an expression of trust. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. Instead, you water it, expose it to sunlight, and trust that beneath the soil, life is forming. Your prayers work the same way. When you pray and expect a response, you create an atmosphere where your faith can grow and manifest results. A powerful example of expectation comes from a community that faced a devastating drought. Desperation led the townspeople to gather for a collective prayer meeting asking for rain. Among them was a young girl who arrived carrying an umbrella. While others prayed out of hope, she prayed with expectation. She believed rain would come. Hours later, clouds rolled in and the first drops of rain fell. This story illustrates a vital truth. When you pray, act as though the answer is inevitable. Expectation influences your behavior. If you are praying for a new opportunity, prepare yourself for it. If you are asking for healing, start speaking and living as though healing is already occurring. People often sabotage their prayers by allowing fear and doubt to override their expectation. They ask for something and immediately begin to wonder if it will actually happen. This inner conflict weakens the power of their prayers. There was a man who prayed for financial breakthrough but continued to speak words of lack and limitation. His mindset and language were out of alignment with his prayers. Only when he shifted his speech, declaring that provision was on its way, did opportunities begin to unfold. Your words reflect your expectation. When your prayers and your speech align, breakthroughs become inevitable. Praying with expectation does not mean that every answer will arrive in the way you predict. Sometimes the response comes in unexpected forms. A woman struggling with loneliness prayed for companionship. She expected a new relationship, but instead she was given the strength to heal old wounds and build deeper connections with friends and family. The answer came, but it looked different than she imagined. To develop expectation, begin by visualizing your prayers being answered. Imagine the outcome you desire and allow that vision to shape your thoughts. Surround yourself with positive reinforcement, stories of answered prayers, encouraging voices, and reminders of past victories. The more you reinforce expectation, the more natural it becomes. Finally, be consistent. It is easy to expect results when things are going well, but true faith is tested during delays and challenges. Even when nothing seems to be happening, keep your expectation alive. Just because you do not see movement does not mean nothing is occurring. Often, the most significant changes happen beneath the surface before they ever become visible. Expectation is a powerful catalyst. When you pray with the belief that answers are coming, you draw those answers closer. Trust that when you speak in faith, something shifts in the spiritual realm. You are not hoping for a distant possibility. You are welcoming a reality that is already unfolding. Trusting in your prayers requires more than just speaking words. It demands that your actions align with what you are asking for. When you pray for something, your behavior and decisions should reflect the belief that your request will be answered. Misalignment between what you pray for and how you live weakens your faith and delays results. Prayer is not a substitute for action. It is a partnership between belief and behavior. A person who prays for better health but continues to make unhealthy choices undermines their own prayer. If you are asking for physical healing, it is essential to take care of your body, eating better, exercising, and following medical advice. When you act as if your prayer is already being answered, you demonstrate trust in the process. This alignment of faith and action creates the conditions for your prayer to manifest. A woman desiring a new job illustrates the power of aligning actions with prayers. She prayed consistently for a better position, but nothing changed for months. Upon reflection, she realized her actions did not match her prayer. She was not updating her resume, attending interviews, or expanding her professional network. Once she began actively pursuing opportunities while continuing to pray, she received a job offer beyond her expectation. The prayer opened the door, but her aligned actions allowed her to walk through it. When you pray, act as though the answer is already unfolding. If you're asking for financial breakthrough, be diligent with your current resources. Create a budget, save where you can, and seek opportunities for growth. When your actions align with your prayers, you position yourself to receive what you are asking for. Faith without action is incomplete. Prayer is the starting point, but your behavior sustains the process. Another example involves a man praying for a restored marriage. While he prayed for healing, his words and actions at home remained harsh and distant. Change only began when he aligned his actions with his prayers, communicating with kindness, showing patience, and prioritizing quality time. Prayer opened his heart, but his actions restored the relationship. Alignment also means letting go of behaviors that contradict your prayers. If you're praying for peace but constantly engage in conflict or negativity, you block the very thing you're asking for. If you're asking for guidance but refuse to follow the signs you receive, you delay your own progress. Examine your daily actions and ask yourself if they reflect the outcome you are praying for. A student preparing for an important exam, he prayed for success but continued to procrastinate. Despite his sincere prayers, his lack of preparation led to poor results. When he shifted his actions, studying consistently, seeking help when needed, and staying disciplined, his grades improved. His prayer for success was answered when his behavior matched his belief. Faith is demonstrated through action. If you believe your prayer will be answered, act accordingly. This may involve preparing for opportunities, developing new habits, or stepping out of your comfort zone. If you pray for a new home, start saving and researching. If you desire reconciliation, make the first move toward peace. Action confirms belief and accelerates the manifestation of your prayers. Patience and persistence are essential when trusting in your prayers. Many people give up when they do not see immediate results, assuming their prayers have gone unanswered. However, prayer is often a process that requires time and consistency. Answers may not come instantly, but persistent faith keeps you connected to the promise until it is fulfilled. A farmer planting crops understands this principle well. After sowing seeds, the farmer does not abandon the field because there is no immediate harvest. Instead, they water the seeds and protect the soil while waiting patiently. Your prayers function the same way. When you remain consistent, even when there are no visible results, you nurture the process of receiving what you ask for. A mother praying for her child's recovery demonstrates the power of persistence. Doctors predicted a grim outcome, but she refused to give up. Every day she prayed and held on to hope. The months of consistent prayer and unwavering belief led to her child's full recovery. Her persistence did not change overnight results, but it created a foundation for a miracle. Patience requires accepting that some answers take time because they involve complex changes. Praying for personal growth, for example, may require you to go through experiences that shape and refine your character. If you are praying for a new opportunity, the right door may not open immediately because unseen preparations are underway. Trust that waiting is not wasted time. It is a necessary part of the process. A young entrepreneur prayed for business success but faced repeated failures. Many would have abandoned their vision, but he remained persistent, refining his skills, learning from mistakes, and staying faithful to his calling. After years of struggle, his business flourished beyond what he imagined. His persistence turned setbacks into stepping stones, and his prayers were answered in a greater measure than expected. Persistence also means praying even when you feel discouraged. Many give up after one or two prayers, believing nothing will change. But some answers require ongoing effort. Just as a builder does not stop after laying one brick, you should not stop after one prayer. Each prayer strengthens your foundation and brings you closer to the outcome. Consider a woman who prayed for reconciliation with her estranged father. Years passed with no change. Friends advised her to give up, but she refused. She continued to pray and reached out occasionally, despite receiving no response. After more than a decade, her father unexpectedly reconnected with her. Persistence, even when it seemed futile, restored their relationship. Patience does not mean passivity. It means continuing to believe even when circumstances suggest otherwise. If you are praying for healing, stay committed to your treatment. If you are praying for guidance, remain attentive to the signs around you. Patience is active. It involves trusting the process while staying engaged. Persistence also strengthens your faith. Each time you pray, you reaffirm your trust. This consistency deepens your relationship with God and builds resilience. People who persist in prayer are not shaken by delays because they understand that waiting does not mean denial. The more you persist, the more your faith grows and the stronger your belief in eventual answers becomes. A teacher praying for troubled students exemplifies patient persistence. Despite their disruptive behavior, she continued to pray and support them daily. Over time, she witnessed gradual changes. Students who once struggled became leaders in the classroom. Her consistent prayers created an environment where transformation could occur. When you commit to patience and persistence, you allow time for deeper work to unfold. Some prayers take longer because they are shaping your future in ways you cannot yet see. Do not measure success by immediate outcomes. Trust that each prayer is planting a seed, and persistence will bring the harvest in due season. 45:34 a.m., March 18th, 2025. Mohsin, when prayers are not answered immediately, it is easy to assume that the answer is no, or that your prayers are being ignored. However, a delay in receiving what you ask for does not mean denial. Delays often have a purpose. They shape your character, prepare you for what is coming, and ensure you are ready to receive the answer. Many times, the things you pray for require more time because there are unseen factors being aligned in your favor. A man praying for a promotion at work experienced this firsthand. For years, he worked diligently and prayed consistently, but no promotion came. He watched others advance while he remained in the same position. Frustration grew, and he questioned whether his prayers were being heard. Unknown to him, the company was restructuring. Had he received a promotion earlier, he would have been laid off during the changes. His delay was a form of protection. When the time was right, he was promoted to a leadership role that was both stable and rewarding. Delays also offer growth opportunities. Sometimes you are not yet prepared to handle what you are praying for. A person praying for successful marriage must first develop patience, communication skills, and emotional maturity. Without these qualities, even if the prayer were answered quickly, the relationship might not thrive. Delays give you the chance to grow into the person who can sustain the blessing when it arrives. A woman who longed to start a family struggled with years of unanswered prayers for a child. Each passing year brought emotional pain, but she continued to trust the process. During the waiting period, she deepened her relationship with her spouse, pursued personal growth, and became an advocate for others facing similar challenges. When she finally conceived, she realized that the delay had prepared her to be a better mother and support others on the same journey. Delays also refine your motives. Sometimes what you are asking for may not align with your best interests. You might pray for a specific outcome, believing it will make you happy, but a delay gives you time to reflect on whether your desires align with your long-term purpose. A young entrepreneur prayed for rapid financial success. He believed that more money would solve all his problems. But the delay in business growth taught him valuable lessons about leadership, humility, and perseverance. When success finally arrived, he was not only wealthier, but also wiser and more capable of handling greater responsibility. Trusting during delays requires maintaining faith, even when you do not understand the reasons. A student applying for a scholarship learned this lesson when her initial applications were rejected. Disappointed but persistent, she continued to apply while improving her academic performance. Months later, she received a scholarship that was far more generous than the ones she previously sought. The delay was not a denial, it was preparation for something better. Delays also provide protection. You may be asking for something that, if received too soon, could harm rather than help you. A man prayed for rapid business expansion. He believed faster growth would bring greater success. What he did not see were the hidden challenges that came with expansion: legal issues, staffing problems, and financial risks. The delay protected him from growing too quickly and allowed him to build a stronger foundation. When the expansion eventually occurred, it was sustainable and successful. Waiting is never easy, but trust that every delay serves a purpose. It could be preparing you, refining your motives, or protecting you from unseen harm. When you understand that delays are not denials, you can maintain faith and keep moving forward, knowing that the right answers will come at the right time. Your words and thoughts shape your reality. When you pray, what you say and think afterward plays a significant role in whether you see your prayers answered. Speaking negatively or doubting your prayers undermines your faith. Positive speech and thought create an atmosphere where your prayers can flourish. Faithful words reinforce your trust, while negative words weaken your belief and create barriers. A man praying for financial freedom illustrates the power of positive speech. He prayed daily, but constantly spoke words of lack and limitation, saying things like, "I will never get ahead," or "Money is always a struggle." Despite his prayers, his negative speech kept him trapped in a cycle of financial hardship. When he shifted his words and thoughts, declaring abundance, gratitude, and opportunity, his financial situation changed. He began to see new possibilities, made better decisions, and eventually achieved the freedom he had prayed for. Positive thoughts align your mindset with the outcome you seek. If you are praying for healing but constantly think about sickness, you create an internal conflict. Your mind and words should reflect the belief that your prayer has already been answered. A woman diagnosed with a serious illness chose to focus on positive thoughts. She affirmed daily that her body was healing and imagined herself healthy and whole. Her medical treatment, combined with her positive mindset, contributed to a full recovery. Her thoughts and words became a source of strength during her healing journey. Speaking positively also influences how you respond to challenges. When you face delays or obstacles, your words determine whether you stay hopeful or give up. A young athlete prayed for a spot on a professional team. Despite setbacks, he continued to speak words of belief. "I am capable. My opportunity is coming." His positive declarations kept him motivated through tough training sessions. Eventually, his persistence paid off, and he secured a contract with a major team. Negative speech, on the other hand, can block progress. A student preparing for a major exam constantly said, "I am going to fail." Despite studying, his negative self-talk increased anxiety and reduced his confidence. When he replaced those thoughts with positive affirmations, "I am prepared, I am capable," his mindset shifted. He performed better and passed with excellent results. His words shaped his attitude, which influenced his performance. Your environment also reflects the words you speak. Surrounding yourself with people who speak positively reinforces your trust. A woman seeking career advancement aligned herself with mentors who encouraged her and spoke success over her life. Their words, combined with her own declarations, created an environment where new opportunities emerged. Positive speech is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing to focus on possibilities instead of problems. If you are waiting for a breakthrough, speak as though it is already on its way. A businessman struggling during an economic downturn chose to speak optimism. Instead of complaining, he declared, "Opportunities are coming. My business will thrive." His words kept him hopeful and open to new ideas. Within months, he found a new market that revitalized his business. Thoughts are equally powerful. When you think positively, you activate creativity and resilience. A woman praying for reconciliation with her estranged family focused her thoughts on peace and forgiveness. This mental shift influenced her actions. She became more patient and compassionate. Over time, her family responded and broken relationships were restored. Your mind and mouth should align with your prayers. If you are praying for success, think and speak like someone who is destined to succeed. If you are asking for peace, focus your thoughts on calmness and harmony. Positive thoughts and words create the conditions for your prayers to manifest. Keep your speech and mindset in agreement with what you are asking for, and you will see your faith produce results.